He is a medical doctor with the Ridge Hospital, and he's going to be walking us through the benefits that we derive from meat and fish, and then why there seems to be a debate between which of the two should be focused on. But we'll take a short story on that and we'll come back with the details of it.
Seafood is a natural part of a balanced diet. It contains high levels of several important nutrients which help us maintain a good nutritional status important for our health. A varied and healthy diet is a prerequisite for good health, and fish and other seafood are certainly important parts of a balanced diet and contribute to a good nutritional status. Fish is a low-fat, high-quality protein and is filled with omega-3 fatty acids and vitamins such as D and B2, rich in calcium and phosphorus, and a great source of minerals such as iron, zinc, iodine, magnesium and potassium. Fish is packed with protein, vitamins and nutrients and can lower blood pressure and help reduce the risk of a heart attack. Our bodies don't produce omega-3 fatty acids, so we must get them through the food we eat, and this is found in every kind of fish, especially high in fatty fish. Some good choices are salmon, sardines, herring, canned mackerel, tuna and oysters. With these in your daily meal, a healthy heart is achieved as high blood pressures are lowered.
All right, so we go straight into our interview. Good morning, Doctor.
Good morning, Martin.
Thank you very much for joining us. And we are going to find out right from taking over from where the documentary left off, seafoods in general. What are some of the advantages we have when it comes to taking seafoods as compared to those that are more on land, maybe meat, red meat, and with particular focus on fish?
The benefits of taking seafoods are enormous. I mean, I can't overemphasize this enough. On Monday, I spoke about meat and the fact that, meat has protein and it also has iron and other things that the body needs. But when it comes to the health benefits, I think the two are diametrically opposed. I basically stated that meat contains a lot of saturated fats, which eventually ends up increasing our cholesterol levels, and therefore the propensity to developing heart disease and heart attacks is even higher for those who are constantly on meat or taking high amounts of meat into the body. That's not to say that don't take meat at all, just a slice of it is okay. Now, come to fish or seafoods, it's diametrically opposed in the sense that, back in the day, you used to hear people craving for 7 C's, yes, omega-3. So you used to hear that thing a lot. Why? It's because the body needs some kind of fatty acids that are unsaturated. And the unsaturated fatty acids, long chains, are what is good for the body to help reduce your cholesterol levels. So people crave for that thing because, one, when you are taking in the fish, it contains high amounts of this omega-3 oil or omega-3 fatty acids, which we call the fish oil. So fish oil is very, very good. When you have enough of it in your system, it helps to bring down your cholesterol. Bringing down your cholesterol, therefore, means that you are going to be able to reduce your size. I mean, in terms of weight loss, obesity goes down, and reducing your cholesterol also means that it improves health of your blood vessels, and then also improves blood flow to your heart. So if you're having enough blood flow into your heart, the risk of heart attack is then lowered. Now, and therefore strokes as well. So you are actually becoming somebody who is beginning to live a healthier life if you are living on fish more than you are living on meat. And so applies to other kinds of seafood. We, as you saw in the documentary, apart from the fact that it has this omega-3, it also contains high content of protein. So if it's protein that you are looking for, which you can get from meat, which has other negative effects, then you might as well do more of fish, because it contains high quality protein as well. So putting the two together, as I said, they're diametrically opposed. One is healthier and one is tastier.
Okay, but is there anything like taking in too much fish?
Well, I wouldn't say that there's anything about taking in too much fish. What it is that I would rather talk of a minimum number of times you should have fish in a week. I mean, if for nothing at all, I mean, studies have shown that if you should have 2 servings of fish meal a week, at least it saves you a lot. I mean, to reduce your risk of cardiovascular events. And so if at least 2 days in a week or more than two or more, you can always have fish in your diet. You can have it 7 days in a week. It's perfectly okay. But we are saying that never should it be that you go through a whole week without having even 2 servings of fish in your diet. That is not good enough. And again, the benefits again beyond the cardiovascular system. It's even known that when you are eating fish constantly, studies have shown that even for children whose parents were, or whose mothers during pregnancy were getting a lot of omega-3, those kids, when they are growing, their intelligence quotient is higher than kids whose mothers were not on these omega-3 and fish oils. Again, their visual development is better than kids whose parents never or mothers were not on omega-3. Intelligence quotient is higher, and then their cognitive function, the fact they're able to recognize things, remember things, is higher for kids whose mothers were on omega-3. So in recent times, you hear the antenatal mothers talking about they are going for pregnant care plus omega-3. So that is a new thing. I mean, it's catching up now. And it helps the brain development. The more omega-3s you have, the better your brain develops. The gray matter of your brain, which has neurons, help you in memory and intelligence and everything. It's boosted by high levels of fish oils and omega-3. So that it's important, therefore, that as your brain grows bigger, kids with that have bigger brains, and therefore the bigger the brain, the more powerful you are. Yeah. I mean, if you look at the Oriental people, the Japanese, and they eat sushi, like this kind of raw fish. And you see, I mean, some years ago, it wasn't like that. Now their development has been so fast. They are very intelligent. Go to Americas and see how the Chinese kids and the Japanese kids are doing extremely well.
But it also draws the question of fish preparation. How would you advise that it is taken raw, or to what extent or what degree can it be boiled or heated before we can take it in?
Yeah, if you can take it raw, if you have the time to take
stomach
it raw.
to take it raw.
I remember I tried some sushi in Cape Town. I couldn't. I mean, it was raw fish, and I tried to. I'm not used to it. But then, even if you have to cook it, then we don't advise that you do deep frying with other oils and things. It's not advisable. But you have the baked fish, or you have you boil it or you bake it, or that one broiled is better than the one that you have deep fried it. So I mean, in terms of
and if even it's grilled,
if it's grilled, yes, grilled is also, I think, better than frying it.
And you want to say that we know that there are issues with fats, generally issues with fat and fatty acids and all. But for fish, when it is grilled, like tilapia for instance, there's a lot of fat that drops. You mean that fat is good?
A lot of fat that drops from
the fish. Yeah, because part of the fish around the neck region, getting to the head region, you could see there's a lot of oil around those areas. Is it good oil?
Yeah, you see, when it comes to types of, you just mentioned tilapia, but when we look at the fishes or the types of fish that will have this high omega-3 I'm talking about, I don't think, unfortunately to say, tilapia is not.
It's not one of the
top shots. Salmon. What in local we call salmon. Not goose as in by salmon or salmon. Yeah. Salmon, sardines, herrings, and the raw tuna. These are the highest forms of, and these are the ones that we don't go. We're going to take on tastier tilapia. No, tilapia is good, but in terms of levels, you put them on the scale. Salmon is one of the tops. Anywhere else you check, it's the number one top shot. So we advise that. I mean, if you are going to go for salmons, yes, you grill them. Some amount of oil drops off, but it doesn't mean that everything of it is dropping off.
No. I was just concerned about, because it is oil. There are those who are also straying away from oil or anything that is oil. So
okay.
just asking.
It's good. When it comes to fish, we are looking at the fatty acids and the fish oils, which that one is good.
It's good.
It's not every oil that is not good. I mean, for example, if it comes to vegetable oil, we always say that go for the vegetable oil rather than animal fat-based oil. So the oil is good.
Can we get those? Are there people who are unable to take fish at all, and are there any form of disadvantages or health risks associated with fish?
Now, for those who are not able to take fish, they have whether it's allergy or intolerance to fish. The other alternatives will be to get these ingredients, this omega-3, from other sources. I must say that there are other kinds of vegetables that may contain what we call alpha-linoleic acids, ALAs, that also are precursors for the formation of these omega-3 oils that we need. So they can get this from other plant sources like walnuts, etc. They also contain good amount of these omega-3. So if you can't take fish, there are other alternatives. Is there any disadvantage or any risk of taking fish? It depends. Generally, there's no risk much, but the debate has always been that, okay, with this pollution in our seas and etc., they talk of mercury in the fish. So what's the risk? But that point is that the benefit of the omega-3 for your heart, your brain development, your vitamin D, even for men, is good for sperm counts. It improves sperm count. The benefits far outweigh the disadvantages of looking at these pollutants in the sea. Now, again, for the fishes that would have a high quantity of mercury in them, they are the fishes that maybe live very long. You're talking of sharks, and you're talking of maybe tilefish and swordfish. These are the fishes that live very long, so they may accumulate much. How many of it eat sharks? Not so many of us. So these ones may be of a disadvantage. So we say that if you want to avoid eating shark, maybe swordfish and tilefish and some types of fish that we generally noted to have very high levels, and also because they live also longer. But most of the fishes we are eating, what is their lifespan? How much mercury do they accumulate? And the mercury, they are afraid that it may affect the development of the brain of a child or something. So in any case, the ones I mentioned, the salmon, the sardines and the tuna and the herrings, scientifically proving that they contain very little amount of these, little or to no amount of these things. So we even advise the pregnant women that if you want to eat your fish, then just do with the salmon, a certain amount of salmon, not too much of it when you are pregnant, not too much of it. Do some salmons, do some sardines. Those are good, but the risky ones, we hardly even take them.
And there is also the consideration of the very dry fish that we use for shito, the one that is later granulated and then used for those are seriously dry. Do they still contain any amount of oil that are helpful? Yeah,
in that case, you would have ended up taking a lot of these good ingredients out of it. But you see, what is that it's not all about the omega-3. You may have taken that out, but the protein, and usually sometimes they want to put it in the feeds of kids, their cocoa, and they are more concentrated on having enough protein for the child. So they might have been grilled and dried and grounded and into a shito, but it still forms a good form of protein for the body.
All right. Are there possibilities that if you are not getting good enough omega-3, you get the supplements? Are they are those artificial supplements, or they are natural ones that are also gotten from fish but then are put in capsule form for people who are unable to get it from fish?
Those capsules, those supplements are good. They are usually gotten sometimes from the deep seas. They take out the fish oils and the omega-3. They've really taking out what is really necessary, not with the proteins and other things of the fish, but the omega-3 fatty oils have been really actually derived from the fish. So extracted, that's the word, extracted from the fish, so that is really good. And apart from that, they can also be gotten from, as I said, some other plant sources, but most of it are still from the sea world, the wild. And we've also known that if you have salmon that is from the wild, like the sea itself, is always better than the ones that you try to grow at home. You farm them at home. They may not contain the high levels of omega-3 that you want as compared to one from the wild itself. So these supplements are good. I mean, we are saying that because pregnant women will be afraid of the fact that they say that in the sea there are pollutants, mercury and all those things, so I won't take fish. Well, if you can't take the fish, then take the supplements. Take the omega-3, and in addition to your...
Can you juxtapose, I mean, can you take both, considering the fact that you may not be too sure how much of the omega-3 you are getting from the fish, so you want to get a supplement?
Oh yes, it's always and for the women, I mean, they eat their normal foods, but they still take the supplements. And usually in pregnancy, you would want to, in your daily life, you don't take folic acid every day. You don't take iron supplements every day. But when we are pregnant, you know that you have a baby growing inside you. So you up it a bit. Yeah, you up it a bit. So there's nothing wrong with having your daily doses of your omega-3 or your fish oils and your 7Cs or whatever they call it, and in addition to your normal fish meals. It's perfectly okay.
All right. My final question would be the issue of age. You're saying that pregnant mothers should take it because it helps they themselves and then the developing fetus or the baby. But when the baby is born, between that age and very old age, maybe let's say late 80s, is there a particular time you should take more of fish or get more of omega-3? Because I know you need it in your developing stages, but then in your latter stage, do you still need more of that?
Good. As I said, omega-3 helps in brain development of kids, their cognition, their visual, their intelligence. It's important. So fish is a must for them in their meals. That's not to say that they should take too much of fish as well, and that's also not to say that they shouldn't take meat. It's also good source of protein and iron. But you see, you have to be able to pan out a certain amount that is okay for the children. As you grow older, you need to build up more muscle, so you need some amount of meat to go in. You need a good amount of fish. For the kids, because of, again, this thing about some people fearing the risk of certain types of toxins in the sea, PCBs, polychlorinated biphenyls and dioxins, and these mercury they are talking about, which again I would say that they are very, very low compared to the advantages. You can say that I won't let the child take too much of everything. I mean, the point is that too much of everything may be too much. So, but good amount of quantities in it would not let that little things cause anything to your child. Except, of course, is over and over and over and over again, which is too much. There's absolutely nothing wrong with your child having fish all the time.
Okay. I think we'd have to leave it here for now. Thank you very much for the education. You had I've been having a chat about the benefits and advantages of fish and comparing them to meat. I think that you have been advised by the doctor to always go in for fish, specifically the salmons and the sardines and the tunas. They have good enough omega-3 for brain development and also for your system.